Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I hope you had your vitamin C, the real one. We're going to talk about the other one this morning for a minute or two. Okay, let's say hello to a few folks here before we get going. And Rosa, you're number one on the hit parade this morning. Good morning, Francis Marie. Good morning to you. Kathy, how is you? Jen from Cape Breton. Andrea from Niagara Falls. And Kim from Timmins. Good morning. Chantal, Ottawa. Bonjour. Nick from our staff. Michael, Norland. Jeanette, bonjour. Our staff. Good morning. Mary. Now, I don't make my girls watch this. I don't. Kevin. Joe. Duncan, BC. Good morning. Fran from Orangeville. Thank you guys for coming on. Rhonda. Rita. Richmond Hill. Bonnie. And from Pennsylvania, Yolande. Bonjour. And Sue. Bolton. Betty. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Helga, good morning. IT, Unionville. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. Zian, North Bay. Martin, how are you? Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Zita, good morning. Denise, North Bay. Olga, good morning. New Brunswick. Luella, West Tennessee. We appreciate you guys. Liz, Norwood. Coldwater, Karen. Bonnie. Barbara, Atlanta, Georgia. Sandy, we appreciate you. Pennsylvania. Deb, Detroit, Michigan. Elaine, good morning. Star, good morning. Richmond Hill. Alma, Sturgeon Falls. And Rick from Pennsylvania. Holy moly, Pennsylvania this morning. We appreciate you guys. And Denise from New Brunswick. Natalie, a couple more here. We'll get going. Barbara from Cape Breton. Always well represented. Donna. And Babika, Naperville, Illinois. I've been there. Pennsylvania again. Anna. Annette, good morning. Jocelyn. Okay, Jeanette. Hearst, Ontario. And we appreciate you guys. Dorothy. And we appreciate you so much. Thanks again, guys, for coming on. Let's get going. Jocelyn, good morning. Okay, let me talk about a couple of studies and we'll put these things together. Okay? Now, this was a study just published in the Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention magazine. Okay? 90,000 participants who were cancer-free. Okay? Cancer-free. And here's the headline of the findings of their study. Cancer mortality increased with the sugar increase. Cancer mortality increased with the sugar increase. And actually, what they were really saying in this study, because you had to just read the whole thing, they were talking about the increase in sugar intake when you drink it. When you drink it. Now, I'll come back to that in 1 second. One part of the study was talking about drinking artificial, meaning, like diet soda and whatever. They say on a participant of 90,000 people, they found an increase in people, pancreatic cancer with diet sodas. But their main emphasis was on if you're drinking a can of Coke or a can of Pepsi or root beer or whatever, 2 drinks a day would really increase cancer rates and mortality rates from cancer. Now, guys, come on. We've been talking about this for a long time. You know, every once in a while you get some pushback about sugar. No, it's not sugar that causes cancer or makes cancer worse. I get pushback on that. I find it hard to understand that in this day and age that people would even doubt that. I mean, you just have to understand cancer are like teenagers. Cancer cells are like teenagers looking for sugar. Looking for sugar. And study after study, including this one, is saying exactly that. Cancer needs fuel, and until it becomes a tumor, it will thrive on sugar. Is that because all cancers are yeast-based, fungal-based? Maybe. But at the end of the day, that is a very significant finding because it just reminds us of the toxicity of sugar. It's toxic. And we always remind people that your body will do everything it can to keep sugar out of your bloodstream. Everything. What does it do? You have an organ dedicated to getting sugar out of your bloodstream. It cannot park in your blood vessels. It's so toxic. Your body knows how toxic sugar is. And it's funny that the world doesn't understand how toxic sugar is. Okay? 90,000 participants that were cancer-free, and there's a significant rise in cancer rates on those in the 90,000 that were drinking, especially drinking sugar. Okay? Now, let me just, I should have actually bought, you guys like visuals. I memorize by visuals, okay? So what I want you to do is in your mind right now, visualize a can of Coke or Pepsi, don't matter, and a glass of orange juice. Okay? You got that in your mind? A can of Coke and a glass of orange juice. Both of them 12 ounces. Now here's a nutritional analysis of a can of Coke and orange juice. A glass of orange juice, 12 ounces. Okay? Let me break this down for you. A can of Coke has 136 calories. A glass of orange juice, 12 ounces, has 183 calories. Now, you know me. Do I care about calories? Nope. Not really. I don't. I know they are a measurement, but I'm not big on calories. I never have been. I don't like measuring calories per se because I'm more interested in speed kills. What? I'm more interested in speed. Okay? What do I mean by that? Calories, Look, everybody on the planet. If you went door to door in your hometown and said, what's better for you? Orange juice or a can of Pepsi? They would say, well, orange juice, of course. But you see, I'm into speed because speed kills. And what does that mean? Well, it's how fast food turns to sugar in your bloodstream. It's the speed. This is why I always emphasize the reset. Why is the reset so good for you? Well, there's a lot of reasons. but one of them is speed. Because when you're eating eggs, meat, cheese, it burns slowly. It's high octane. It's not crappy carbohydrates. Oh, by the way, let me give you the comparison between a can of Coke and orange juice when it comes to carbs. How many grams of carbs in a can of Coke? 38.2. How many grams of carbs in orange juice? 41.1 grams of carbs. Speed kills. Those carbs are going to turn to sugar rapidly. Rapidly. Now, for my fiber friends, okay, guys, when in the office, you have to understand, every day, maybe just about every day, I heard about fiber. Doc, what am I going to do for fiber when I'm on the reset? I need my fiber. I said, who told you you need fiber? They told me. I said, who's they? Kellogg's? Cereal? Who told you you need fiber? Okay? But for my fiber friends, a can of Coke, you know how much fiber it has? None. That makes it really good for you, doesn't it? If I can play with that. Okay? Sound off and on. I hear that. I thank you guys for doing it. Can you hear me now? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Because I might have to start this over again. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Come on, audio. Just clicking. Okay. I am going to start over again. Okay? I'm going to start over again. Okay? So, I don't know if someone's messing with the audio. I really don't. Okay? Okay, we're back with sound, Ilana says. No sound. Give me, Arlene is saying I got sound. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Guys, sorry about that. The technical difficulties. I don't know what's happening there. Brenda says it's the Bluetooth. Okay. What's that mean? Okay, I'm going to figure that out. Now you can hear me, right? Your car links to the phone. Ah, okay, I got to figure that out, right? Okay. So let me go back a little wee bit. Okay, now you got sound. Sorry guys, I'm going to try and figure it out afterwards, okay? I'm going to try and figure it out afterwards. It was playing with me. It was maybe trying to connect to my, why would it try to connect to my car? Okay, so we've been talking about, okay? We've been talking about it could be someone else's car. Okay, you can hear me clearly now, right? So, here's really important, okay? We're talking about Coke. Here's the bad news on Coke. 38 grams of carbs, 33 grams of sugar, added sugar. Orange juice, 43 grams of carbs, and 34 grams of sugar. Now, let me tell you something. I don't care if there's vitamin C, the other, ascorbic acid, I don't care if there's vitamin C in the orange juice. You have no idea how bad, well, everybody, I think, would say a can of Coke, yeah, that's really bad. I mean, that's sugar. But orange juice is every bit as bad. You were never, ever meant to drink fruit. Okay? Now, I allow you a few berries in Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie, but that's different because you're not getting a lot of sugar there. But orange juice, apple juice, is pure sugar, and speed kills. That's the important thing. They didn't say that in the cancer study, but they're saying if you have 2 drinks a day, your cancer rates are skyrocketing, and secondly, it's deadly. It's the mortality of those cancers. You're feeding cancer. Cancer cells need sugar. And you're going to hear lots of propaganda. Oh, yeah, but fiber, Dr. Martin, fiber. Well, first of all, there's not a lot of fiber in orange juice. Second of all, so what? It's the amount of sugar that kills you. Okay? So, when you see kids, okay? Never mind adults, it's kids. When you see them drinking frappuccinos, and you see them drinking Tropicana, when they, I always wonder why young people are in Starbucks. At first, woohoo! I'm happy. They're drinking coffee. Yeah, but, I had some baristas. My grandchildren that worked at Tim Hortons and Starbucks said, Grandpa, you wouldn't believe the amount of sugar in those drinks. I taught them well. The amount of sugar in those drinks. My word. And it's drinking sugar. It's one of the worst things you can do. Eating sugar is bad enough. Drinking sugar is 10 times worse. Now, fructose. We spent a lot of time on fructose. And oranges, when you eat an orange, 100 times better for you. when you eat a fruit. 100 times better. It's fructose, but you can eat it. Now, I call fruits God's candies, and the reason I say that is because we live in a different world. We live in a sugar-laced world where here we are in 2022, and we're up to a dump truck load. Like you see kids drinking total sugars around 200 pounds a year. It's absolute insanity. And I call it the twin towers of diabetes. The twin towers. They're diabetics without knowing it, and they're getting obese because there's nothing that will pack on fat like fructose. What do you think bears do to get ready for winter? It's not like they drink fruit, but they eat. They eat berries. 30,000 berries a day, like crazy. So guys, I'm not against fruit, okay? I'm not against it. Limited amounts. Be very careful with fruit. Enjoy God's candies, but don't live on God's candies. You got the memo? Because it's fructose. Now, the worst thing about a can of Coke, and they didn't even mention this, that's worse than the orange juice to this extent. They both fructose. That's what's in it. The added sugars, but what Coke does, and every soda company, they give you high fructose corn syrup, the antichrist of sugars. That even 10 times worse. 10 times worse. Because that metabolically really messes up the liver. Okay? So high fructose corn syrup is cancer in a can. It's cancer in a can. It's so detrimental to your health. Okay, so that was one study. And let me say this, okay? Let me say this. That one way to prevent cancer is to, this summer we remodeled, okay? We remodeled our kitchen and remodeled our bathroom, one of the bathrooms here in our home, okay? We did remodeling. Now, I didn't do it. My wife says the only tool you're good at is a remote. Don't put a tool in my hand, okay? Because I could probably break something down, but I can't build it, okay? Believe you me when I tell you that, okay? Now, I want to talk about another study because it really is an interesting study on remodeling, okay? Remodeling. And it has to do with vitamin E. So we talked about vitamin C, the other one, ascorbic acid in orange juice. And that don't make any difference at all because the amount of sugar and the amount of carbs in orange juice is terrible for you. Never drink this stuff. Okay? When you have cereal in the morning and you have orange juice with it, you got a double barrel shotgun aiming right at your liver. And it ain't good, folks. It ain't good. Now, let's remodel because this is a real significant study. Good luck trying to find it in the sense that, no, who's going to talk about it? Okay? Except me. Because now, for people with diabetes, with high A1Cs, with a pre-diabetic, because really, if your A1C is high, you're diabetic without the title. Because we always say sugar is blood sugar is a lagging indicator. Why is it lagging? Why is it the last thing that gets set off? Because your body's smart. Your body will do everything in its power to keep you away from high levels of sugar in your bloodstream, your glucose. Oh, doc, I'm not a diabetic. Says who? Your doctor? Your nutritionist? You really are a diabetic. My name is Tony, and I'm a diabetic carboholic. I'm not right now, because it's in remission. But I don't fool myself. I discipline myself. Because I'm a carboholic. I love carbs. Do I love pasta? Yep. You know when it says man shall not live by bread alone? I could. Okay. Why do you think I'm so passionate? I gain weight easily. Some people don't, but I do. And diabetes is coming out both our ears in our family. And I don't fool myself. So, but here's the, here's the renovation that really helps with remodeling your house. And here's the study, okay? It says vitamin E exercise, even without weight loss, is very helpful. Okay? Let me repeat that. Vitamin E exercise, weight resistant exercises especially, it says this, even without weight loss, is very helpful in remodeling your body's fat. Okay? When you do vitamin E, especially when, you see, think about this for a minute. What is metabolic syndrome? At the end of the day, what is it? Well, it's a storage problem. You run out of space to store. Okay? Metabolic syndrome, when people insist on eating crappy carbs and sugars and drinking orange juice, okay, drinking sugar, fructose, they have a storage problem. That is what metabolic syndrome is. I've taught you this. Metabolic syndrome starts in the liver, the Costco parking lot. It's a storage problem. There's no more parking spots. What happens? Well, a cascade of problems. Because your body starts storing fat when there's no more room around in the liver. Sugar turning to fat, sugar turning to fat, sugar turning to fat. Get that right. When you now have no more storage problems. You see, diabetes, think about what it is, okay? The effect of metabolic syndrome. The storing, there's no more compartments. So what this study is saying, it's confirming what I've been telling you. You can remodel your home and create more storage space. The more muscle you have. Ladies, don't be a cardio bunny. I'm not against cardio. But cardio ain't going to help you the way getting strong will help you. Okay? Because the more storage space, muscles, let me make a statement. Muscles are the most metabolically tissue that you can get. Because muscles, what they do, they're storage bins. You're creating, if you do a remodeling, even without weight loss, listen to what I'm going to say. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and I said to her, get strong. Because so many people are so frustrated. They live on the scale. And the scale discourages them. They do the reset even. And we hear about it. I didn't lose any weight. But you did a remodeling. You were cleaning out, because the reset cleans the liver out. It's giving you storage space. But if you do exercise, and especially getting strong, that's why, I'm writing a book right now, just about done. I mean it. My end is just about done. Sun, steak, and steel and sleep. Do you like it? Do you see the one of the S's in there? Steal. I'm not telling you to steal something. I'm telling you to use steel to get strong. Because it remodels. Even your fat gets remodeled. And muscles give you extra space to store. And that's significant. You gotta get that fat away from your liver. You gotta get that fat around your pancreas. You gotta get that fat around your heart. You gotta get that fat around your gut. Visceral fat. Dangerous fat. You need to remodel. Remodel the kitchen and the bathroom. Because if you get strong, ladies, I'm talking to you, men, you too. But ladies, because ladies, they like being cardio bunnies. And listen, any movement is good. But when you build muscle, you do a remodeling in the body. This study showed if you start there, they're saying don't start a weight loss program. Okay, this is what the study said. Don't start a weight loss program until you start a remodeling program. So they're saying start getting strong, create more storage bins. It'll make you less insulin resistant. And it really helps you metabolically. Isn't that interesting, guys? And here we are talking about cancer. And they're saying in this second study, because you remodeled your home, obesity is a huge driver of cancer rates. Okay? I mean, the jury is in. We know that. Okay? We know that. But it's mostly, though, is because when people get obese, ordinarily, they're not strong. They lose their muscle. Muscle is so important. You need more storage space. You need to do a remodeling. Get strong. And then, of course, the reset, of course, because it empties the liver. It empties the liver of glycogen. And it gives room for those triglycerides to come back in the liver and get metabolized as your cholesterol is out on the blood vessels in your circulatory system. And they're coming back with triglycerides, but they can't come back with triglycerides in your liver if you've got no more room in there. So if you do a remodeling, you're going to have more room, and triglycerides are going to get metabolized in the liver. Yep. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Pretty interesting. Create your own bins. Do a remodeling. I like that. I'm visual, man. I'm visual. I see it in my head. Oh, I'm making bigger bins. Okay. Get strong, guys. Get strong and cut out. And I know you guys know that, but when you see your kids or your grandchildren or, people that you love and they don't get it, you know what? They are there's nothing worse than drinking sugar. There's nothing worse. Eating it's bad enough, but drinking it is worse. Okay. Guess what tomorrow is? Question and answer Friday. It's always fun. Send in your questions. I promise not to pontificate. Okay? And we love you guys. Have I told you that lately? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, talk to you soon.